originally I wanted to do this workshop style, but our last class went over for a little bit, so I'm just gonna teach you guys what to do and how to do this. Because it is a feature inside of Command that most people don't realize exists, but we can. Oh, awesome, thank you. So we can actually run a Facebook ad targeting our database. So instead of getting brand new leads, we can guarantee that the people in our database are gonna see our Facebook ad.
For Command database.
Yes, sir. So what happens because of our partnership with Facebook, and our partnership is very different. Now, there's other brokerages that'll say they have partnership with Facebook, but Facebook helped us build our platform initially. And they were one of 3 consultants when we changed to the new paid ads dashboard. It was them, Google, and an external marketing firm to help with all the targeted marketing and everything on the back end. When we changed over to this new platform. So because of the type of partnership that we have, what they do is they take the phone numbers and the email addresses inside of the database and compare them to the phone numbers and addresses used to build Facebook profiles. So that means if a phone number or an email inside of your database was used to create a Facebook profile, it's going to guarantee that that person sees your Facebook ad. Right? So can't do that in Facebook, can't do that anywhere else. It can only be done in Command. So what we're gonna do today is so I started to teach this to coincide with the what's your home value widget that's on our website. Did you guys know that we had that? Okay, so on the new agent version of the site, so if you guys have not switched over to the new agent websites, you want to do so. It's very simple. All you do is click on the websites or the consumer applet at the bottom left. It's the very last icon. Mine's already gone, so I'm not going to click on it. But when you click there, if you're on the old site, you'll see a button that says upgrade my website. Do that, takes about 5 minutes. It'll convert everything over. The only thing I want to like make sure you guys are aware of is if you have any custom pages or landing pages assigned to the old sites, they don't transfer over. So take screenshots of them so you know what content was on them, if it's anything that you do actually use. If not, we can create, like, if it's nothing of importance, we can recreate them on the new site afterwards. But because it's 2 separate platforms, there's no way for us to automatically transfer that information. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of it before you transfer it over. And they're like, oh my God, all my stuff is gone. But once you have the new website, you can turn on the what's your home value widget, which I absolutely love because it gives you guys an actual range. So I've made a website, a page on my website. It's got its own URL. So this is what this is the destination that people are gonna have. But just so you guys can see what it does. I'm gonna put the house where I grew up in Manalapan, Pine Brook Road. Just because I know what the price is. Or what it would be. So they put in their address, it's gonna ask them for their contact information. So there's a chance that the ad may get you new leads, and I'll explain how that might happen. But typically, this is gonna be somebody whose information is already inside of your database.
So you created the ads to your database to send that link to get their own.
Yep. 8954623. Yes, so this is the destination is gonna be this what's your home value widget. I just want you guys to see what they get when they actually fill out the form. So they'll put their contact information in, they'll hit get my valuation. And then sometime this century, it's gonna, yes, no, maybe so. Am I missing something? No.
So it's gonna duplicate the person though?
Nope. It's gonna sync to the person that's already inside of your command. So it's just gonna add it to their timeline. No, I thought, oh, there it is. Okay, go. Took forever, but it's here. And of course, today it doesn't want to work, even though typically it pops up. Like it actually, I just taught this class last week and it worked fine. So I don't know what's going on. It could be because of the connection on the computer, but it actually gave a range of 528 to 78, so it gave a $50,000 range. But then you'll note, like, what it says here is a little bit different. In-depth market data, it says something else, but it actually pops up with a price. But it basically says, use the expert, because we're on your website, you're the expert, you're right there. And then it shows a graph, I'll try a different address later, but it shows a graph. And at the bottom, it says, this is not an appraisal, make sure that you speak to an expert to get, actual accurate market data. I get a lead, I get a notification, I don't know if it came through yet, because I don't have.
Pretty much that's what they see, right? On that.
This is exactly what they see, except, like I said, it could be a connection issue, because I typically use my home, like the house where I grew up, because every time I've used it, it's worked. So I don't know what's going on today, but there is a chance that if there's no data in that area, they would get this message, but I haven't had it happen in a really long time. Our market data for this property is limited. Oh, I wonder if that's the whole different ballgame. I'm gonna have to ask about that. But this is what they'll get, and they get a range, and somebody said to me once before, they're like, well, what about, like, how is this better than Zillow? I'm like, it's not. It's the same probably half accurate, like, answer that Zillow would give, except it's connecting directly to you instead of a computer. So that's why I like this home value widget, plus you're getting the notification, and it gives you that opportunity. So like what I would do for this, and I'm not gonna have enough time to kind of work through it, but would be to create a one-step smart plan so that anytime somebody fills this out, they get a text message from me that says, hey, thanks so much for, wanting to know the value of your home. I'm in a meeting, but I'd really love to connect with you later today, if that's okay. That way, if you are busy, they're expecting a phone call later, and it's an automated text that'll go out, and then it gives you time, you get the name, the email address, the phone number, the property address, and the price range that generated, all in a notification. I don't know if it came through, even though there was no actual range that oh, it did, there it is. So it pops up. Ashley requested a home valuation, I'm not logged in. Sometime this century. And when I open it, it gives me all the contact information. Or like everything that I was looking at is there. So it gives you all that information, so I can call them at any time, even if I'm not on a meeting. It is done that way to give you time in case you are busy and you can't get to them until later. So I would create a one-step smart plan with the lead source that anytime a lead comes in using your what's your home value worth, it's automatically sending that text message. And it's doing it with their name, like if you use the merge fields, so that it says like, hey, Miranda, hey, Amanda, like, hey, Gio, I see you were interested in learning about the value of your home. But I'd like to get a little, I'd love the, whatever it looks like, whatever that text looks like. So that it comes back, you have time to come back and get to them later. But now we're gonna talk about creating that Facebook ad that targets your database. So what I also would do is go into designs and just create a real quick, what's your home value? I have one created already, so you'll see what it looks like, but they've got like 5 or 6 different templates already created. You can use it exactly as it is. You can customize it if you want, but just use the marketing insight here because it'll pull directly in, or you can have marketing prepared somewhere else for the Facebook ad, because we are going to do a non-listing option, but we're going to hit create campaign and we're going to do a paid ad. So that brings us to our paid ad dashboard, slowly but surely. So there is only one type of Facebook ad that is going to allow you to target your database. And it's one of the ones that is to generate traffic. So it's one of the yellow ones. Now, again, the difference is the Facebook lead forms. This is going to guarantee that you generate leads because it's using the Facebook lead form. These other ones, you may end up getting a lead from them, but because they're not using the lead capture form, there's a chance that you may not actually get new leads from it because they may not fill out the form on the next page.
The Facebook lead form, is that something that automatically pops up and
Yes.
someone has to fill it out
Before.
before they are brought to?
Correct. With the
Webpage.
yellow ones, we're trying to generate traffic to a page, so that contact form, it's like. It comes afterwards, so they're already getting the information and would still have to fill out the contact form, which is why the ability to target your database. Is better, because you may not see any immediate leads from it or anything like that. But if they start to see that content often enough and they're like, maybe I am interested in what my home value is worth. But, so the one that you wanna choose to be able to target your. Database is the recruiting and branding option. So when I click that. You'll notice that typically this is normal, the target radius where you can put in zip codes and stuff, but this option has the include my database. So here is the caveat with targeting your database, so. Again, it's gonna scrub your emails and phone numbers with Facebook's emails and phone numbers. And if any of the emails or phone numbers in your database, doesn't have to be both, just needs one. So they can give you their cell phone number, but they use like their work phone number in your database, but they use the same personal email address. It's still gonna guarantee that they see your Facebook ad.
One or the other must.
It has, one or the other has to be connected. It doesn't have to be both. So as long as one of them is connected to a Facebook profile, that person will see your Facebook ads. The caveat here is that there needs to be at least 100 people in order for the algorithm to work. So if less than 100 people in your database have an email or phone number that matches one in Facebook, it won't run, they can't run it. So what they do is, they have you put in a zip code or a target, like in the targeting radius as a backup. And then, so that if it doesn't do this, the backup is a specific, what's the zip code for here?
07070.
Easy enough. Easy enough. That's like my license is 0790790. So I have my target, I can put multiple targets if I want, doesn't make a difference. But I have include my database and then I can include different tags. So what I've done, so I can do this, is I went in and I tagged every single person in my database as database. So if I ever want to email my entire database, I don't have to add 500 people at a time or whatever the case is. I have every single person is tagged as database, so that if there's ever a time that I need to interact with all of them, I can. So I'm just gonna choose database here. My Facebook page is already connected, it should be my real estate page. So I've given my backup radius, I've toggled on include my database, and I've included any tags. So now if I just wanted to do my sphere, I'd wanna have them all tagged as sphere of influence. And like, whatever that's gonna look like. I wanted to just go out to my whole database, because you never know. So tag my database, then here's my text. Whether you're buying or selling a home, nope.
That's gonna be the value, no?
Yeah, well, they don't know what our ad is gonna be about yet. So. The real estate market. It's still on fire. I'm gonna add some emojis, where'd they go? Cause we know people speak in emojis, so we're gonna add some fire, we're gonna do it 3 times, cause why not? Interested, if I could spell, interested in knowing the value of your home. Click learn more below. And then I'm gonna add the down button or the down. Finger that's pointing down, if I can find it, down. This one. Okay, go ahead. My headline is just gonna be, what's your home worth? Yep. What's your home worth? Pretty simple, straightforward, like this doesn't have to be anything crazy. And then I'm gonna choose. select from media. So as you can see, we've got a couple different versions of the what's the value of your home. I'm gonna choose this one.
And as Ashley said, she made all of these in the designs
Yeah.
prior to making the ad.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, a little bit of setting yourself up to make things easier.
Right.
If you get your designs done first, then go in and build the ad, it just simplifies everything.
Exactly. So my process here would be, make sure that I have the home value widget on my webpage. Then I'm going to create the smart plan, the one-step texting smart plan, telling them we'll get, you know, thanks for the interest in, knowing the value of your home. Is it okay if I give you a call a little bit later to touch base on, you know, the nuances of your property? That could be the script for you. Then I'm gonna set up the lead route in the settings, which I will show you guys afterwards. I just wanna make sure I get through this part in the half an hour and then we'll move on. Set up the lead route so that it automatically triggers that smart plan every time a lead comes in via that home value ad. Then I'm gonna create my design inside of campaigns, inside of designs library. And then after all that is done, I'm actually gonna go launch my campaign. Make sense? Cool. So I've chosen the version of the ad that I wanna do. I'm gonna hit confirm and close. And now I have my destination URL, which I'm gonna just copy and paste from here, because it's my home value widget. Boom. My compliance is default, proceed to last setup. And then I'm gonna put in my budget, date and time. So 7 to 10 days is like the sweet spot, and then between $35 and $50 or $25 and $50 is the sweet spot. The most important part is the daily spend. However long you wanna run your ad for, as long as the daily spend is between $3 and $5 a day, that's like where you kind of wanna be.
So what did
To
you say,
start.
7 to 10 days, and what was the?
7 to 10 days and between $25 and $50 a day. So typically, as long as this is at least between $3 and $5, that's kind of like typically the sweet spot for a single agent. You can go more, but you don't necessarily have to. But that would be like best bang for your buck. Now, I don't like, that's typically to generate leads, so I don't know if this necessarily, because we don't have that much data on the targeting your database stuff. Because it's not, this is not gonna generate new leads, because we're targeting people that you already have all their contact information. But like I said, you may still get a notification or something through, it's not gonna show up as a lead per se. And then you put your credit card in and all the fun stuff, but pretty straightforward.
So you're targeting your database.
Uh-huh.
But it also target just like random people in the same zip code?
So it can, yeah, if there's not enough, yeah, so it's like a backup, so typically, if there's not enough people in your database, it'll go to the backup as getting new leads also.
You may have still been on the phone.
Yeah.
But you need at least 100 people, 100 contacts that have the email and the phone number, at least one of them matching up to the Facebook user's username, email or phone number that's part of their profile. So if you guys only have 25 contacts in your database, this isn't gonna work, period, because you don't have enough contacts.
Yeah, so it'll do a backup, it'll go to those 25, but it'll also generate new leads for you also, because you don't have enough. In the database because in order for any of Facebook's algorithms to work from a targeting standpoint, there needs to be a minimum of 100 contacts or 100 people that it can target.
You do both Instagram and Facebook through this?
Yes. Yep. So it automatically goes on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, and just so you guys know, you only need to connect your Facebook business profile. You don't need to connect the Instagram account.
Mhm.
Because both accounts are under the Meta
Mhm.
umbrella, so they both have the same login information. They're attached to one another within the world of Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. So that's why it will still show you that you're running the ad on Facebook and Instagram, but you're only linking your Facebook
Mhm.
page. In the settings and command, you're only connecting Facebook. You don't need to set up Instagram, because it's taking the business page information and putting that on the Instagram ad.
So since it has to be a Facebook page, right? It can't be your profile.
Correct.
So the database would be off your Facebook profile?
No, so you might have missed it because you were on the phone. So what this type of ad does is it takes the emails and phone numbers in your database and cross-references them with the phone numbers and emails that were used to create Facebook profiles. So if either the email or the phone number of a contact matches a profile on Facebook, that Facebook profile is going to get. It's gonna guarantee that they see the ad because it was one or the other matched inside of the database. So like, for example, I taught this class to my agents in Spring Lake. An agent who has been in the business for 25 years, she's a $20 million producer, got $2 million listing leads out of this. Because she's been regularly targeting her database now using the what's your home value ad, and 2 people in her database were like, I wanna know the value of my home. One of them listed, we did this back in September, was the first time I taught, like, this is part of like a boot camp that I put together, and we targeted, the first time we did this was in September. By October, she had 1 listing and another one she got recently.
Do you think this works a lot better than just targeting just like random people?
So targeting random people will get new leads, so it will feed your database with new people. You'll still have a little bit of a long-term nurture, probably before many of them are going to convert into actual sales for you. But this is going to, it may take, again, this may not yield results immediately, because it takes time for that algorithm to kind of kick up and really know who you're targeting. Plus, because the way that, like, part of our partnership is we have what's called an agency account with Keller Williams and Facebook. So they lump all 180,000 agents under one account. So every time I run an ad, it also looks like you run an ad, or Amanda runs an ad, you know. It kind of lumps all of our results together, so that the algorithm is tricked into thinking that all of the agents at Keller Williams spend billions of dollars a year so that their ads get placed in the best possible placement. But they also take into consideration what your goal is. So a lot of people advertise listings. That's the one that's used the most. So that one yields the best results for leads versus the non-branded or the attract buyers or attract sellers. So because not as many people are using them, it sometimes will take a little bit longer for results to yield, which is why Susan has been running ads since September this way and has only gotten 2 leads out of it. But they were well worth it. And one of them has turned in, one of them is a listing that already went live and sold, and another one is one that she's a client that she's working with now. So the more people that use it, which is why I teach it, the more of us that use it, the quicker the algorithm will understand who it is that you're trying to target. Even though they're targeting your database, but it will, the results will start to get better the more that we use it. But these are going to people who know and love you, so it's a different type of lead. It's a higher quality conversation.
Would you also say that maybe this is a good chance to showcase a little bit more of the agent's personality? So like, for example, you guys know like a diehard Taylor Swift fan, right? So like, if I were to run an ad that says something like, I don't know, we can't all live in Taylor Swift's mansion, but I can get you that, something like that, like, it's just an opportunity for it to not seem so cookie cutter.
Yes.
Cause that's what we've been saying, it's all about building relationships, so you wanna ensure that people have that opportunity to know more about you and your, interests and all of that, that way they have that personal connection to you. I'll be right with you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, so it'll definitely yield quality leads, and it does give you the opportunity to kind of showcase who you are, because those people already love you, they already have a relationship with you.
So you said the listing ad will get you in the best place because it's most frequently used.
So typically, yes. So if you're trying to get leads, like new leads into your database, the algorithm that, I paid ads. Oh, I didn't even hit none paid ad channels, I just wanted, whatever. I'll go where it needs to go, the dashboard. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so this single image listings, gives you the best bang for your buck. Because it's the one that's been used the most. So the algorithm for generating new leads knows who the target audience is for this type of ad. Not as many people do multi-listing, so you'll still get leads, but probably not as many as you get using the single listing image, just because, or even the multi-listing image, just because these are the two that people will use, they've used them the most often. So the algorithm, although ever changing, understands those two goals the most. But the one in order to do this type of ad that targets your database is the recruiting agents and branding option. So this is the only one that will allow you to target your database. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Because for the most part, this is over. I mean, it was a real quick one because it's just about the steps of creating the ad, not creating the ad, that comes later. Making sure you have the what's your home value ad page on your website, and then like I said, creating the smart plan, which but the one thing does everybody know how to create a smart plan? Those of you guys who have been in the class, yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah, well,
All right, we'll do it quick because I know we've got like 2 minutes. Or not, we're 1 minute over. So to create a one-step smart plan, which is what we would do, is just go to smart plans. I would slowly but surely. No, I don't want Facebook ads. Plans. Back up. Smart plans. There we go. So I'm just gonna create a one-step smart plan, and like I said, I'm gonna use Twilio to send a text message. So I'm gonna hit create. This is my home value. Yep. Smart plan.
So you always been using Twilio?
Yeah. Yes, for this stuff, for the automated, yes, I use Twilio, and the reason why I like Twilio, even though it comes from a different phone number, is because it's gonna protect your phone number. So if you're doing mass text messages from your phone number or your mass phone calls or any of that kind of stuff. In fact, Matt, one of our vice president for young professionals, he actually can't use his iPhone anymore because his phone number got marked as spam through iMessaging, so he cannot text his database. So he had to get an Android in order to do certain things. So when I tell you guys you want to use Twilio to protect your personal phone number from getting marked as spam, I promise you that's what you want to do, because the last thing you want to do is have to get a new phone number over something as silly as mass texting or mass like marketing. But so I do use Twilio. It allows that automation to happen. But I'm gonna just create one-step smart plan. So I'm going to, my task is gonna be to send a text. I'm just gonna drag and drop it. And then over here, I'm just gonna type whatever I want my message to be.
So for Twilio, you only use it for smart plans, not for massive testing, right?
You could do mass texting. Yeah, both.
The only problem with Twilio is, I believe it's 200 or 300 per day that you have to send all a week,
Contacts. No, it's 200 contacts a day.
okay?
I mean, I also send out more than that. They just, it's a notification that they tell you to be careful because you can get flagged. But I send out more than that. I had 1,500 agents in my 4 market centers that I used to text all the time. I never had an issue.
But you can do it, it's not like a cap.
No, it tells you that you shouldn't. It gives you a warning to tell you you've hit the max, but it doesn't not text them. My market center alone has 250 people and we text everybody once or twice a week.
Yeah, because usually you got more than 1,000 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, we had 1,500 agents
That's what I'm
between the
saying.
4 offices, so when I was plus including all of our business centers and stuff, when I was the director of technology, like to remind them about my classes, yeah, I would send them to everybody. But I'm just gonna do this as a test, because like I said, this will be the, hey, thanks for your interest in blah, blah, blah. This is a test. But yeah, so this would just be. I'm gonna hit add step and then I'm gonna save this. So I'm doing, it's a one step text that typically I would take the time to write out my whole entire script because they're gonna get this text message. But I just wanted to show you guys. Why is it not saving? Once you have the smart plan, okay, there it is, now it's saved. I don't know what the problem is. So once you have the smart plan, we go into settings to set up that lead route. So now every time somebody fills out my home value. Where am I? Settings. My home value landing page, come on. Technology is not my friend today. Here we go, settings. So this I only have to set up once for that landing page. But I'm gonna go to command settings. And I'm gonna go to contacts. And then I'm gonna go to lead management. So like here, when I do open house registrations. They automatically get added to a smart plan. Because that's how I have it set up. So I'm gonna do the same thing, I'm gonna create the same rule. Except the lead source is gonna be the home value widget. So here's the home valuation from the site is gonna be the option that we select. And this is, I'm gonna tag them home value. So I'm creating a custom tag here because I don't have it. So I know I'm gonna group everybody who's filled out my home valuations because maybe I wanna target them for something else later on. But now I'm also gonna choose my home value smart plan. So now anytime a new lead comes in. Using my home valuation tool on my website, it's gonna auto trigger them to that smart plan and auto tag them. So I'm gonna create that rule. Home value. So I'm gonna create that rule. So now, and I set it up once and never have to look at it again. So no matter how many ads I run now, that's already in place. If somebody accidentally goes to my website. It's already set in place. They'll automatically get that. So I get the notification instantly, but if I'm busy and I can't call them right now, that's okay, because they got a text saying that. I wanna make sure that your range is 100% accurate. Is it okay if I call you a little bit later? Make sense? Alright, guys, that's all I got for you today. I know it was a lot.
That's it?
That's it. Did you